I was on campus on Friday in beautiful Tallahassee, Florida. We had thousands and thousands of students. Might have been the largest campus event we've ever done. My team tells me University of Georgia was a little bit bigger. Easily 3,000 to 4,000 students. But of course, the local papers say hundreds of people. That's nonsense. That's not what we're talking about today. As I was on campus, a young man came up and asked a question. He said, "Charlie, breaking news. Right here as we are on campus at Florida State University, Donald Trump and J.D. Vance just descended into a shouting match with Zelensky." I paused and I said, "Come on, what are you talking about? They're just there to sign a mineral rights deal. There's no way." He said, "No, I'm looking at it right now." I said, "All right, well, I believe you, but I'll have to see it for myself." I spent 3 hours on campus at Florida State University. We had amazing exchanges, phenomenal crowd, really terrific turnout. And then I opened up my phone, and there I saw it. The exchange that went around the world. By far, the most viral moment to date of President Trump's new administration. And you could just see there, that was the crowd at Florida State University. It was historic. It's what we have been waiting for, and we are going to analyze and break it down because we were not able to do that on Friday or over the weekend. And I thought about doing a show over the weekend. I said, you know what? This news is moving so fast that anything I say is just going to be outdated a couple hours later. So on Friday, Mr. Zelensky, wearing his Sunday best, showed up at the White House, strolled all in to the Oval Office, and sat down for a long meeting with President Trump, J.D. Vance, and Marco Rubio. Now, let me pause. The media is misrepresenting what happened on Friday. It was over a 40-minute discussion. Many people are only catching 30 seconds of it or 2 minutes of it. If you want to get the entire story, you should watch all 40 minutes. Zelensky needs America. America does not need Zelensky. Ukraine needs America. America does not need Ukraine. And then at a certain moment, things started to escalate. Things started to bubble up. J.D. Vance and Zelensky started to kind of go back and forth. The first 3/4 of the meeting were uneventful. Now, it's credit to President Trump for allowing the cameras to run, for saying, no, we want the American people to see all this. We want you to be in the room. And remember, this is why they hate Donald Trump, because he brings you into the room. He brings you to the table. You have a seat at the table. You see how the negotiations are going. If we are going to go to World War III, we want you to be able to decide who's in the right and who is in the wrong. Not leaks, not one-off accounts. We, the people, own the table. Under Joe Biden or that entire regime, they never would have thought of bringing in the press for 40 minutes, which, again, I just find so laughable. On campuses, some of these liberals will say, oh, Donald Trump is attack on the free press. Attack on the free press. He let the press for 40 minutes in the Oval Office uninterrupted get the best ratings for daytime TV that they've ever seen. So I want to play some of the longer cuts here, intentionally, just to kind of set the table. J.D. Vance, in this nearly 2-minute clip, and it's very, very rare for us to play a 2-minute clip here on this program, but it's worth it. It's historic. We want to play it in context. This started to bubble up. And J.D. Vance asked a very simple question. Do you think it's respectful to come to the Oval Office and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country? Zelensky got very mad. All Zelensky had to do was just say, I love America. Thank you, America. I'm so thankful for America. America's wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. That's all he had to say. But Zelensky can't help himself. Something about Zelensky and how he feels or his attitude, or there's something more sinister going on. I think there's somebody in Zelensky's ear, and I'll get to that. I think there's either Senate Democrats or deep state actors in the Central Intelligence Agency that are undermining President Trump's potential win here in Ukraine that got in Zelensky's ear, saying that there might be some that trying to undermine this deal quietly because this was a masterclass by President Trump and J.D. Vance. But you have to wonder, was Zelensky sent on a kamikaze mission to blow this up? Here is the long tape. It's nearly 2 minutes of one of the more historic moments in American diplomacy ever caught on camera, play cut 22.
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you are not strong...
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the President for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Come once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happens is you bring them on a propaganda tour, Mr. President. Do you disagree that you've had problems bringing people into your military?
We have problems.
And do you think that it's respectful to come to the Oval Office of the United States of America and attack the administration that is trying to prevent the destruction of your country?
A lot of questions. Let's start from the beginning.
Sure.
First of all, during the war, everybody has problems, even you, but you have nice ocean and don't feel now, but you will feel it in the future. God bless.
You don't know that.
God bless. God bless. You will not have war.
Don't tell us what we're going to feel. We're trying to solve a problem. Don't tell us what we're going to feel.
I'm not telling you.
Because you're in no position to dictate that. Remember this. You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel. We're going to feel very good.
You will feel influence.
We're going to feel very good and very strong.
You will feel influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards.
Playing cards.
Right now, you don't.
Yeah,
you're playing cards.
Mr. President.
You're playing cards.
Serious.
You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country.
That's
with back all respect to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this entire meeting, you said thank you.
Even today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
We've never seen anything like this. And I just have to marvel at how transparent this administration is. You want to get on what side do you stand on? Do you stand on the side of the foreigner come and begging for money? Or do you stand on the side of America? And by the way, it keeps going, and it kept going, and we're going to keep on analyzing it. We have never seen or heard anything like this, a public collapse of a deal. It never, ever happens on camera. And I think this is one of the healthiest developments in American diplomacy. Sometimes deals don't go the right way. Sometimes they go the correct way. But you deserve to know all the elements involved. If we are going to keep on sleepwalking closer and closer into a war, you should know why. If we're going to get away from Ukraine, you deserve why. To know why. And J.D. Vance asking the question, who are you to say what our country is and is not going to do? And you're going to see in the next clip, in the next segment, what really set off President Trump. Oof, it really set him off. When Zelensky was telling Donald Trump that America might be involved in a war against Russia, and Zelensky even tries to walk it back. And what an arrogant attitude that Zelensky brought into the White House. You have to wonder, did Zelensky even want a deal? Of course he does on the surface, but he wasn't acting like it. Before that meeting, he had another meeting at the Hay Adams with Democrat establishment and Republican establishment senators who probably gave him a false sense of confidence. He has the attitude of migrants who are coming to America and Europe. Give me more. I want this. You need to give us that. Well, that's not the way it works with President Trump and J.D. Vance. If you don't respect the Oval Office and respect our country, then you're going to get kicked out, which is exactly what happened.